Hi everyone, Nicholas Devine, assistant professional out here at the magnificent Lake Karrinyup Country Club, and today I've come out onto the short course, specifically the third hole. Not that that has anything to do with this video, but to talk to you about entry level and game improvement irons. And today I've selected 4 irons for this head-to-head. I have the TaylorMade M4, the Callaway Rogue, the Titleist AP1 and the Ping G700, which was just recently released. All of these irons have high MOI and go an absolute mile. So you're going to want to hang out for this video and see these clubs go head to head to see which one goes the longest, which one performs the best, so then it can help you make that decision when it's time for you to buy that new set of irons to make sure that you make the best choice possible. So hang out for this video and let's get into it. So if you saw my last video, I tried a new format in trying to deliver my videos so I can get information out to you a lot quicker and faster and a whole group of information coming to you. So again, we're going to try that out. Leave a comment in the comment section and let me know what you think and whether you think this format works. One more feature I'm adding into this video is called Shot Optimizer. Now what this is for, and you'll see an image coming up on the screen right now, it is there so we can see what kind of launch angle we get out of these irons, what kind of spin numbers, and if it's an optimal spin number, and also descent, whether or not we get an optimal descent on all these clubs. Now just keep in mind, most of the spins on these irons are going to be out, okay? They're showing 7 iron spins, but because these clubs are so strongly lofted, they're more like a 6 iron loft. So spin numbers are going to be a little bit down. So when you see all the figures of the spin numbers being a little bit down, keep that in mind that these are more like a 6 iron, not a 7 iron. But you'll see when we're talking about launch and descent angle, launch trying to get it up quick, descent angle so it hits the ground nice and soft because you don't have the spin there that you need to make the ball stop. They should be in the yellow or green area. But that's just something else I'm adding in so we can get more of a good idea of what these clubs are all about. Now also remember, I am using the SkyTrack to grab all my ball data, and I also am using the Titleist NXT Tour S as the golf ball. Now that's a good golf ball to use because most of you people who are going to be trying these kind of golf clubs will probably best be suited to hitting this specific golf ball. Anyway, let's get into it. We're going to start off with the TaylorMade M4. Okay, now let's just talk about key features of this iron first of all. Ribcore technology and also speed slots on the side of the face and the bottom of the head. Now that is all there to make you hit the ball further and get a high MOI, and MOI means more forgiveness. Now this club comes in at 28.5 degrees of loft, and it's the strongest of all these 4 irons. Longest shot I hit with this comes in at 162, and the shortest one I came in was 146. Now that is a big separation between good shot and bad shot, so that doesn't breed too much confidence in me in this iron. Now just keep in mind, you'll see a lot of shots going right to left. I was not hitting it my absolute best today, but it was good enough because every single iron got the same testing. Sounded a little bit clunky, but you can expect that from a cast head. The look for me, absolutely fantastic. TaylorMade always gets the look right, so that is a big plus on this iron. It does look amazing. Great launch, and you'll see the numbers about to come up on the screen now. Great launch, spin numbers a little bit down, and then descent angle was a little bit too high, but this iron went up into the stratosphere, so it is a very high hitting iron. Okay, Callaway Rogue, key feature to these irons. VFT face, or variable face thickness face. Urethane microspheres to give optimum feel and compression on the ball, and 360 cup face technology. Again, all these features are there to get high launch and also distance, but also to have a high MOI, so extremely forgiving. Loft, 30 degrees of loft in this model. Now it's the 3rd strongest in this range. There are irons, there is another iron that's slightly stronger, but we'll get to that shortly. Longest shot 160, shortest shot 152. Now we're talking about 8-meter separation. Now for a golfer who's looking for that little bit more forgiveness between good shot and bad shot, this is pretty good. There is only an 8-meter separation between good and bad. So that is a very, very important thing that you need to look at. Look, now this is the chunkiest of all the heads. To me, probably the most unattractive of the four, but you can get past that once you get feel and sound out of it. Now, when we're talking about sound, I used to think this iron sounded a little bit clunky, but it's not too bad. Shot optimization coming up on the screen now. 18 degrees of loft in the green area. Spin was down, but like I said, because that's more of a 6-iron thing. And then descent angle was 46. Moving on to the Titleist AP1. Key features again, fast in face, precision tungsten weighting in the club head to get high MOI, and of course speed off the face so it goes a long distance. This is also a progressive set, so it goes from cavity to hollow irons by the time you get to the high-end clubs. Longest shot 160, shortest shot 153 I should say. 7-meter separation between. Again, a club that gives you a sense of confidence. There's not much difference between good and bad. So when you hit a bad shot, it's not so bad. Look, much better than the old AP1, much more of a sleeker design. That for me is a big plus. The AP1 used to look chunky, now it's very thin profile, very good looking head. Probably one of my favorites. Sound, again, a little bit clunky, but you can expect that from a cavity back head. But again, not too bad. I've heard other cast irons that were a lot worse than this. Now we'll probably move into shot optimization, comes up on the screen right now. Again, very solid across the board. Things are all a little bit out, but only by a very, very, very small margin. So overall, very, very good in shot optimization. Okay, final club, Ping G700, only released just a couple weeks ago. Key features on this, hollow face and also miraging steel face. So that means it's a very, very strong metal. They've been able to shave it down a lot, so this face acts like a trampoline and the ball goes an absolute mile. 29.5 degrees aloft, so second strongest in this category. Longest shot 159, shortest shot 146. Now that's a 13-meter separation. Now I was starting to get a bit tired by this stage and I was starting to hit a lot of errant shots, and you can see that from the video. But if you go look at my review of this club previous, it is a very, very good iron. Look, for me, the best looking one of the lot. It looks like a blade, so I appreciate that a little bit more. Overall, very good feeling iron, very good hitting iron. Everything from Ping, again, they've done really well. Shot optimization should be just about to come up after this shot, so we'll have a quick chat about that. But I'll get started with it now. Again, you can see the spin number is in the red, but just remember that this is a 7-iron, but it goes out like a 6-iron, but because it's a hollow head, you don't get as much spin as the other ones being cast. But the other two figures are in the green area, so launch angle 19 and descent angle 46. So all of these clubs, you can see the descent angle is fairly solid. So when it hits the green, because there's not so much, because it's coming from quite a descent, it is going to hit the green and it is going to stop. All these irons launched miles up into the air, so they will hit the ground soft. Okay, now you can see coming up on the screen is the averages of all the clubs. Now let's quickly talk about total distance. Now there is only 2-meter separation between all these four clubs. 154 was the shortest, 156 was the longest, and that's on the average. So there is not much difference between all these clubs. Even though some of them went out a little bit longer when I hit it really well, when I hit it really bad, they also came out a little bit shorter. So really, by the average, all four of these clubs are really, really good. Spin numbers coming up on the screen. 5337 for the TaylorMade, 5345 for the Callaway, 5570 for the Titleist, and 4581 for the Ping. But like I said, the Ping being a hollow head 7 iron, the spin number was going to be a little bit less than the others. Moving on from there, total flight, or what I call peak height of the flight, all of them flew above 25 meters high. Okay, so that's where they get the stopping power from. These balls are coming in from miles high, so when it hits the ground, you don't need massive spin numbers to make this stop. The descent angle and how far they're coming down makes these balls stop. So they all can hold the green, they all have green holding capabilities. Okay, final thoughts. Okay, some notes I've written down a little bit earlier when I did the testing the other day. Now, all these irons are good, and I would recommend all these irons to anybody. If I was to pick one on look and feel, Ping all day. And I say that simply because, not just because of this testing, but because of testing I've done in previous videos with this iron. It is an absolute gem for me when it comes to look and for feel. If I was to pick one on consistency, you have to go the colorway and the Titleist. Their shot separation was a lot tighter than the other two models, and that for me makes it win the vote of most consistent. If you're looking for a club to simply hit it past everybody, TaylorMade M4. That thing went miles. I mean, there was one there that's 162 meters. That's probably about 3 to 4 meters longer than any of the other ones that I hit. I know it's not a lot, but if you want to sneak one out there past your mates and make your mates feel like they're hidden at nowhere, then TaylorMade M4 iron is the one for you. Anyway, there you have it. There's my thoughts on high launch, high MOI forgiving entry-level golf clubs. I hope this video can help you make that decision as to which iron that best suits you. Now, just realize I did hit all these with the Project X LZ 6.0 stiff shaft, so I've got a very good comparison across the board on all these 4 irons. Anyway, there you have it. Make sure you hit the like button, make sure you hit the subscribe button, and then make sure you hit that little bell next to that subscribe button, because that gives you a notification of when my next video is due to come out. And then, like I always say, leave a comment in the comment section, and we'll see you next time on ND Golf.